VoxWave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page, where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at our studio, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
Android users, the VoxWave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android device to listen in and view programs.
Business owners looking for a place to advertise your business and promote your products and services? VoxWave is the right place. We have over 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For more information, contact Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455.
The world's #1 streaming music station, VoxWave.com.
We have your favorite shows on VoxWave.com. Check out our lineup. The Kim Show, Mondays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. In the End We Win with Curtis, Mondays, 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Cooking with Flavors with your host, Chef Flavors, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Slick Daddy Rick, Heartbeat Congo Hour, Tuesday, 8 to 10 p.m. Impact the World Radio TV Show with Cheryl Woods, Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. The Digital Digest with your host, Digital Ace, Wednesdays, 3 to 5 p.m. Live Set Wednesdays with your host, Frank Dent, Wednesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. The BGKH Show with your hosts, Dominion and Epic, Wednesdays, 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. You, Math, and Me with George Randall, Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then, on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., The Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., The 640 Evening Show, Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The Peace in the Morning Show with your host, Darius A. Stan, co-host, Delicate Daryl Barnes, and Queen Ayakidobi, Fridays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Hall Street Journal with your host, Robert Hall, and co-host Clarence Sanders, Fridays, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Frank, The Success Principles, Friday, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Chanel's 3 Cents, Friday, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. The Daryl Allen Harrison II Crime Victims Foundation Show, hosted by Daryl Harrison II, every Friday from 3 to 4:30 p.m. The Rush Hour with DJ Drew and Janique, every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Different Minds Show, hosted by DJ Bam 640 and DJ Andre Michael, and your co-host, MC Fran, every Friday, 9:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. The Healer Blues Show, with host Ron Jackson, every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Hour of Power, with your host, Reverend Winters Rogers, every Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And again, the Prayer, Praise, and Deliverance with Elder Thurman Gorman Jr., Saturday, 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. And don't forget Four Sisters Live Talk, Saturday at 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Turning dreams into reality talk show with your host, Tashika L. Green, every second Saturday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Walk in Newness 24/7 with Missionary Antoinette, Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. News, ULM, news and analysis, information, sports, and black history. With your news anchor, Roderick Carter Willis, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Step your game up with the Youth Project, hosted by DJ Main and DJ Low Hefe, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And don't miss The To Go Show with Kim Brown, Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I am Dr. Sharon Show, each Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., featuring The Grind, Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, and Write the Book Now. The Riri Williams Show, Fashion and Style Hour, every first Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Real Talk 101, Sundays 6 to 8 p.m. And every third Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m., the Third Sunday Tea Talk Show with Dr. Akita Pearson. Gospel Live TV Show with host Gloria Mello, each Sunday from 8:15 p.m. to 9:15 p.m. Listen to all your favorite shows on VoxWave.com.
VoxWave.com. VoxWave.com, streaming your favorite jazz, blues, and R&B 24/7.
Good evening and welcome back. I need to be saying that to myself. Good evening. My name is Curtis Austin and you have tuned in to In the End We Win with Curtis. I apologize for missing out on last week, but we had a situation to arise that we just could not overcome, so I had to run a repeat show. Secondly, I am wearing my school colors, Savannah State College. I had to take my son back to the airport this afternoon and totally misjudged the traffic and getting him situated and all of that good stuff. When I got back to the house, I just didn't have time to go to wardrobe, if you will. So I just threw something on. So tonight I wanted to first of all read something that we have going on here at the studio. And excuse me for looking down, but I haven't memorized all of this. So Star Imports, along with Then Sings My Soul Productions, is seeking support in our movement concerning domestic violence. This production is not to entertain, but to educate and encourage those who are affected daily in households across the world, such as 3-year-old Skylar Johnson. Skylar's grandmother was murdered by her fiance, leaving Skylar's mother at 3 years old to be raised by her uncle and maternal grandmother. Please join Star Imports and Then Sings My Soul Productions as we build the Skylar Johnson Scholarship Fund. Tax-deductible donations towards the Skylar Johnson Scholarship Fund can be made by visiting www.thensingsmysoul.org, or you can contact 202-415-2122. We are requesting $100, but we will accept any amount. Tickets for the play start at $25 and may be purchased at the Black Lady Theater box office or online at www.theblackladytheater.com. If you'd like to become a sponsor for the Then Sings My Soul musical, please visit www.thensingsmysoul.org or once again, contact 202-415-2122. Help us eradicate domestic violence today. Thank you. And that was a mouthful. So this evening we are going back in time a little bit. We've got my friend to the show who's actually been on the show one time before, Mr. Don Folden, the owner of DC Black Tours, in the house. Good evening, sir.
Hey, brother.
You got that cap on again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Representing.
Yes, sir. This is my brand.
That's right. How are you?
I'm great, brother. I'm doing outstanding.
You're looking good.
Thank you, man. Good. I feel good, brother.
Good.
I feel good.
Good. So we've got Don Folden in the house again tonight, and he's just going to give us an update on what he's been doing. We're going to talk a little bit about DC Black Tours. I encourage you guys to call in, chit chat, join in on the conversation. You can do that by dialing 240-719-2560. Again, 240-719-2560. And so, Don, we had you on the show
right
earlier on, and we talked a little bit about what you are doing for the community, DC Black Tours.
Right.
So tonight I'm going to give you another opportunity to just introduce yourself to our viewers. We've obviously, since the last time you were on the show, we've increased viewership.
Right.
And I'm going to give you an opportunity to reach out to them to just let everyone know who you are, what you're doing here in the DC area, and give out your contact information, if you will.
Well, my name is Don Folden, and I have DCBlackTours.com. My company is Capital Buddy Tours. And I have the premier African-American tours of Washington, D.C. We do daily tours. This is a market that is overlooked and underserved. And that's one of the things that I want to address, is to be able to share our history. We were a community before this gentrification came. And unfortunately, a lot of our stories are lost in the mix. And that's what I'm trying to work on, is telling black history. You can get the monument history a dime a dozen. But when we start talking about what black people were doing in D.C., this is what I'm trying to revive. As a matter of fact, black history is the best kept secret in America.
Really? Why you say that?
Because it's not taught in the history books, and that is taught is skewed. It's not right. As a matter of fact, if you really wanted to address racism in America, then we need to go back and look at the American history that's being taught. And the American history that's being taught is flawed because it doesn't include Native American history or black history.
That's right. That's right.
You see, right. So white people really, how can you hate something that you don't know?
That you don't know, right. Right. Well, you know, what's interesting is back in February, I had a gentleman on, and we talked about the relevance of Black History Month. And I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked him. Do you believe that in 2018, Black History Month is still relevant?
I don't, personally. And I'm going to say that because for 2 years in a row for Black History Month, I've not booked one African-American tour. And it's not like, you know, I'm hid under a rock or people don't know who I am. You know, I'm out there. I'm not bashful about being out there, about presenting myself, about presenting my website, you know, but because we live it every day, a lot of the times we don't value. You know, you might, oh, that's just Johnny. You know, that's just Don. That's just Paul. You know what I'm saying? And they are actually making some strong contributions, not only to the city, but to the country. Sure. Because now remember, see, in D.C., you got two stages, brother. You have a local stage and you got a national stage.
Well, let me challenge you on something, though.
Yes, sir.
So what I just heard, you said, no, Black History Month is not relevant, but you made it personal. You said for 2 years you had not booked a tour in Black History Month 2 years in a row.
Right.
And you're saying that because of that, no, Black History Month is not relevant? How do you
see, I guess when we say relevant, you know, if it's the politically correct thing to do, then everybody want to do that. Okay, but Black history is every day.
True that. Right. I agree with that.
You know, so if you're just going to confine me to 1 month, the month of February, you know, it's the only time that I can deal with when I live this life every day. Okay, but you can only talk about my history during the month of February, and this is one of the things that again, you know, you could find a monument to a dime a dozen every day. But you can't find a daily African American tour that's going to show you some African American history every day. Why do I have to wait for February?
So let me ask. You know, this is a highly charged environment that we're living in right now, partly because of our current president. Do you think that perhaps people are more afraid of that conversation and saying, oh, I'm going on this Black History tour, even though, you know, African Americans, blacks are being shot in the streets? You know, I'm just trying to figure out why you're not seeing the response, especially in the quote unquote Black History Month.
A couple of reasons. I think one, because you got to realize that African American history for white people is very painful and very ugly, because in our history is where you will find the ugliness of white America. Okay, and a lot of them don't want to be reminded of this. As a matter of fact, they think that the Black history is about slavery. Well, but we are more than just slavery is only a small part of our history, of what we had to endure and what we were subjected to. You know, I mean, you couldn't even go to court against a white person if you were black. You had no rights, man. If a slave catcher could come up to you and arrest you tomorrow, if you didn't have one of the 3 white people that knew you to vouch for you, man, you sold into slavery. 12 years a slave. Solomon Northup, that's what happened to him. Right here in D.C. You see, so it is painful, man, and it can be ugly, and unfortunately, a lot of us don't want to, you know, we want to feel good. We don't want to deal with that pain. We don't want to deal with that ugliness. You know, but it's a reality. Man, I'm 65 years old, and thank you, brother. But Mary Church Terrell, who was an activist in D.C., man, she won her Supreme Court desegregation to desegregate restaurants and hotels in D.C. That woman was 90 years old, brother. Still on the front line fighting. At 90. Okay? She was going to help a friend of hers for another cause when she died. But at 90 years old, man.
Yeah.
You know? She fought for desegregation of the restaurants and hotels in D.C. And it was a law that was in 1852 that they discovered to help her win.
Right.
Now, if this lady can fight at 90,
sure, right?
Man, I'm.
So
you see what I'm saying?
So now going back to that question, is Black History Month still relevant today? Are we just missing it? Are we, as African Americans or as black people, are we not doing enough to call attention to what really is this systemic problem?
Well, unfortunately, brother, anything that in this country right now, if you're pro-black, it is perceived you're anti-white.
True that, and that's why I asked about the business and so on.
You know what I'm saying? If you're pro-black, then it's automatically associated with you that you're anti-white. And I'm not anti-white.
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
but I feel like man, this is $1 billion tour industry. So how come I can't get a part of this telling my history? Why do I only have to tell about the Washington Monument, the U.S. Capitol, the Lincoln Memorial? You know, why do I only have to tell you about the memorials? You know, why can't I tell you about Tobias Henson that owned 24 acres over in Anacostia when I take you over to the panorama room to let you look out over the city? A lot of people don't know that even with Frederick Douglass. Man, Frederick Douglass had a 28-year affair with a white woman. Otley Assing was her name for 28 years.
Otley
Assing. Okay, he had a 28-year friendship, quote, and this woman actually lived in his house. Okay, but you don't hear about that history. You see what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
so, and you know, I got to tell you, man. Sometimes it's like when you actually produce something, when you can actually manifest a dream or vision. You know, it's one thing to say, I do African American tours.
But hold tight 1 second. I think we have a caller. Good evening, caller. You're on the line with Curtis.
Good evening, Curtis. This is Roland Grimes.
Man,
What's up, sir? How are you?
Man, I am awesome. How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Good. I'm really enjoying the conversation, man. The last piece that I heard was when Brother Don said he was wondering why he could not or would not do tours and celebrate and honor his own history as opposed to just for other ethnic groups. I noticed, and you guys give me some feedback, that we sometimes take the approach that unless we're buying from or doing with somebody outside of ourselves, that we can't reach a high level of success.
Say that one more time for me, Roland. I need to catch that.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we have the perception, sometimes we have the perception that unless we're doing business with, for, or buying from other ethnic groups, that if we do it among ourselves, we can't reach a higher level of success.
But see, but Roland, that's by design, brother. That has been by design. That one, the minute you start seeing black people coming together to start uniting behind a purpose or a cause, then automatically the system is going to be scared. So wait a minute, what's going on here?
That's right.
Okay, because you can't be but so woke. You know, and then just like I told you, anything that's pro-black has already automatically been steered to represent anti-white.
Right.
And I'm not anti-white.
Right. It's perceived as being anti-white, anti-Semitic, anti-something.
Right. It's always you're against something.
And prime example right now, Trayon White is being torn apart in the news about his comments and then going to the Jewish museum and then leaving, and they will not allow that thing. This brother has apologized. He's done everything he could, but they are still, every time he gets in front of a reporter, they're asking about it. Why won't they let that thing go?
Well, it's real simple. See, and this goes to show you, we happen to be the only race of people that you can treat their women, children, and old folk any way you want to with little to no resistance. We're the only race of people that you can do that, brother. If you go up to a wild animal's baby, get close to it, it's going to attack you.
Right.
Black folk don't do that, man. They kids get... listen, man, both of my kids graduated from D.C. public schools. Both of my kids did very well.
Wonderful.
My son went to Brazil. My daughter went through Norway because I was walking them halls. See, I didn't have the patience to sit down and do homework. Okay? So my strength was walking them halls. Tell me what you need, because I'm asking my kids every day, anything I need to know? You tell me what you need, and I'm going to go get the help for you. Because if I help you, I'm going to mess you up because I don't have the patience. Okay? And I know I don't have the patience. And see, and a lot of times, man, we don't want to responsibility and accountability. When it comes to that, man, you just got to bite the bullet, man, and just keep going. And even through all of the resistance, brother, I told you, my caddy, the guy put a distributor on, the thing went on. And when you said, you know, Don, you're going to be, I said, yeah. Man, my car, I said, let me get on my bike and get on the subway and jump right off Branch Avenue and ride my bike right on over here and go right back. But you had to have some determination, brother.
That's right.
See, you can make an excuse for anything can be an excuse. That's the easy thing to do.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But like I told you, brother, African American history is the best kept secret in America. Now, we're the nation's capital, D.C. Brother, if we go 2 hours down the road to Richmond, Virginia, do you know how much black history is in Richmond?
Right.
Right.
That's dying on the vine.
Right.
How come we can't connect these two, brother?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Up a franchise,
brother. I'm on something, man. You asked me how things are going. I wrote an op-ed to the Washington Post about I refuse to give up.
Okay.
For about my experiences that I've had the last two Black History Month since I've been in business. And just Friday, I just did a photo shoot. I'll be featured in the Washington Post magazine either in late May or June.
Wonderful.
You know, I'll be featured in that.
Sure.
You know, but it's all because I sat down and I wrote out an op-ed. Well, in the meantime of writing out the op-ed, I still had to go through and make sure my stuff is tight. You know, I now have a DC Black History church tour that I've written, and I've written a Georgetown Black History tour.
Georgetown.
A Georgetown Black History tour that
Yeah,
I've written.
no, Georgetown's got a lot of black history.
It sure does.
Yeah, my family came out of there.
Right. So in Georgetown University, you know, they had to sell 272 slaves to stay afloat.
That they're now repaying for.
That they're repaying for. And so Georgetown University actually should be the one sponsoring Black History of Georgetown.
Have you reached out to them?
I'm working on that, brother. I'm on to something, brother. I'm telling you, I'm on to something. Because again, man, nowhere in the country do you have anybody that has tapped into the black history of America. And anywhere in the country that you can go, I don't care how big or how small the city is, man, you got some black history in that town that's buried.
Right. So, Roland, did we answer your question? You got anything else for us?
Well, I mean, you know, and really it's part of a dialogue, you know, more than it is just a question.
Okay.
You know, it's us, evaluating, reevaluating, and valuing, you know, ourselves in such a way, you know, that we take what Don is doing, we take what Curtis is doing, and we unapologetically keep pushing it out there until folks begin to value it the way it needs to be valued. And the dollars and the interest And like what Don said, writing that op-ed, I wrote several op-eds when I lived in Syracuse, and it opened up doors for me to do things there just from writing. Okay. You know, and those are strategic ways to create credibility, you know, and it didn't cost you nothing to write the letter, right?
No, it didn't. Just the time.
Yeah. You know, those are creative ways to create the credibility, you know, for stuff like that takes what you're doing into another realm. Yeah, you can take the box. You know, and that's a beautiful thing. So I would say, man, you know, again, Curtis, as you know, I say to you all the time, what you guys are doing is necessary and it must continue. And it'll be down the road when the rest of us start to come together and move things along economically the way it's supposed to, because we're slow on the draw when it comes to us. Except if Disney gives us a movie, then we're kind of quick on it. But that's another conversation.
Right.
You know, and I'm not hating on it. You know, for example, you know, I now have the video on demand subscription service so that we can take some of the history, look at it in real time, and then deal with the future. The what do you call it? The three dimensions of time: past, present, and future. And we're not trained to think like that. We haven't been trained to think like that. And what you guys are doing is you're doing just that. You're bringing together the three dimensions of time. And Curtis, man, that's a heck of a byline for your show, connecting the three dimensions of time: past, present, and future. And keep doing it. Don, man, it's good seeing you.
Thank you, Big
Keep up the
Roland.
good work, fellas.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All righty, man.
But you know, brother.
Thank you for that, sir.
You know, one of the things that I would tell people, that when you get on a vision, when you get on a goal that you're pursuing, you know, there are some prices that you're going to have to pay.
Definitely.
And some of it is going to be bitter, some of it is going to be sweet, some of it is going to be ugly. But as long as you don't take it personally, and this is one of the things that I've found out through all of the adversity that I've gone through dealing with these tours, that just not to take this adversity personal.
That's right.
You know, because adversity guards the door to success. Because if it didn't, anybody could get in. Right. The minute you're trying to be successful, man, all Hades gonna break loose against you.
That's right.
You know, to turn you away from that door. Everybody would be doing it.
Sure. Right.
But you have to be persistent, and you have to keep putting one, even when you can't see the way. When you was asking me about my guerrilla warfare marketing. Stormy Daniels, who's the porn star that with the president, she was in New York City.
Yeah.
At the courthouse at the lawyer.
I've been following you, man. I saw you.
Man, listen, brother, I jumped right on the train and went up there with my DCBlackTours.com sign to get some time, to get some of that free. And I mean, it was photographers. If it wasn't 150 photographers outside that court, it wasn't one. And see, the question that you never know who's taking your picture.
That's right.
You never know. See, and they done seen me in D.C. And now I pop up in New York City. Eventually, somebody gonna come and say, "Man, who is this guy that keeps popping up with this D.C. Black Tour sign?"
Right.
You know, and let me tell you, and see, this is what I found out, brother. As far as the federal court in D.C., see, they're used to me now coming down there.
Oh, really?
And yeah, the last time that I was down there, I had a parking space, and the girl wouldn't move her car up or something. So, you know, I pulled up as close as I could, and I'm sitting there waiting for this guy to come. And the photographers were like, "Hey man, you know your parking space is available, brother. Go get it." So I said, "Wow!" And they were real friendly. I said, "Why you down here?" I said, "Man, I'm trying to get me some publicity." But you know what I'm gonna do? What the Lord showed me, brother. The next time that there's a event at that courthouse, I'm gonna take a couple dozen donuts for the photographers. All right, and tell them, "Hey man, here y'all, no brother, tell them I appreciate y'all. Know I'm down here trying to get me some airtime, you know. But here's some donuts for y'all." Okay, so now they're not going to be so now against me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I'm sugarcoating them now.
Right.
Okay, and I done figured out the position. I've been down there enough to know how to position myself now.
Sure.
You know, and those are some of the things that you got to do, Curtis. You sometimes, brother, even when the odds are against you, you got to step out with all the confidence in the world.
That's right.
You know, that you know what you're doing. And people have no clue of some of the stuff that you've been going through.
And that's what we were talking about earlier before we went live, that, you know, even this show, in the end, we win.
Right.
However, there are some things that we have to do in order to ensure that we do win in the end, right? And part of it starts with having that faith in yourself, right? Having, you know, trusting yourself, right? You know, just like when we came in tonight, I didn't see you lifting this chair up, making sure that all of the screws were tight. You didn't check it to make sure that it was not stable enough to hold you, right?
Right.
So you're operating in a certain level of faith just by sitting in that chair. And we all do it every day, right? So that same ounce of faith, why can't we put that in ourselves and push ourselves to go on to what God has predestined for our lives, right? So I'm a firm believer in exactly what you're saying. If there is something that you want out of life, you have to continue to do it. I also believe that persistence beats resistance 100% of the time.
It does. And actually, it's the persistent piece. It's where most people fall off at.
That's right.
That's where most folk fall off. Most folk don't have the perseverance to be able to get knocked down and still get up.
But and then you know what? I was listening to I have a coach that I haven't met yet, but she talks to me, man. I listen to her an awful lot. Lisa Nichols, and she talked about one year she made $800,000, if I'm not mistaken, in October. And she took the rest of the year off, right? The following year, she made $800,000 by July. But she told herself, why am I scared to keep pushing to the same way I got to that 800,000? Why am I feeling like I want to slow up now and stop? Why don't I just keep pushing? So now that I've made it, you know, and we're just halfway through the year, let's see what's going to happen from July to December. And she's far did more than what she had set for her goal. But I realize even in myself, sometimes we get comfortable when we believe that we've achieved.
But see, here's the thing that I think kind of mess people up. When they hear a story like that, say, man, you know, you got somebody that made $800,000, you know, before July was up, you know. Well, man, now I'm sure there have been many months, days, and years that if she was lucky to make 800, you know, there was some very lean times.
Definitely.
You know, in the beginning, and see, so many people just get caught up in the finished product of what they see that they don't really comprehend or even consider the demands that's going to come on you before you get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we see that, man. So, oh man, $800,000. I would love that, but brother, that's a heavy price to pay.
Yeah.
Because you figure, you know, when you're making that kind of money, brother, it's gonna demand some of your time.
Definitely. And that's what I'm saying. So that first year, she took the rest of the year off because, you know, never in her life had she achieved that. And in her mind, that's what she was used to.
Yeah.
That's what she was used to. So, I can take the rest of the year off because, man, I made $800,000 in 8-10 months.
Right.
So then that following year is when she challenged herself. Why am I stopping here? Okay, I got to $800,000 now. It's in July. Should I keep going? What good can I really do for my community if I do continue to go? What good can I do when I bust the Richter scale, you know, wide open, you know, and move the needle so far that, wow, it just blows my mind. So, you know, I think that, you know, like we talked about, I think we as individuals just need to assess, you know, what's important and what truly it is that we desire out of life. And if it's truly important, then we're not going to stop no matter what. Even when we believe that we've achieved a certain success, we've got to continue to go, because that same question that we talked about, is Black History Month relevant? I believe it is, because I don't see where we as a community are together at all. And just like in your example where two years in a row, you didn't book one tour in those 2 months, that's a shame.
Well, no, brother. What that is
even from the white perspective, a white person should, you know, be like, well, dang, this is that month. Well, why aren't they?
Well, but see, this is what I've come to understand and to be able to accept, is that that's part of my resume. To be able to endure this kind of situation, this kind of outcome, and still believe in my dream.
Absolutely.
I've had a lot of things that could have aborted my dream, my vision, to happen to me. Okay, but I believe in my vision and my dream, because ain't nobody doing what I'm doing.
That's right.
Okay, so if I sincerely believe in this, when my car won't crank and I'm going to be on your television show, man, I'm going to find a way to get there. I ain't going to call you and say, hey, brother, I can't, man, something came up. You know, I can't make it. I'm not going to say that, man. I'm going to find a way to get there.
Amen. I appreciate that.
And that's what we see, but it's little simple things.
I agree with that.
You know, that we don't practice as far as seeing through, following through, being through.
That's right.
You know, we want to wait till we get to the big stuff to try to walk it all the way through, when we ain't been doing no practice on no little stuff. See, if you really want to be good, you're going to have to practice on some little stuff first. And then when that stage presents itself, you can step up there with no problem, man.
That's in the word, man.
You know?
That's in the word.
My daughter called me, so let me.
All right, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Let's take a 2 or 3 minute break. We actually went past. You're going to answer the phone while we live on the show. We'll be right back.
I don't want her to think something wrong, you know, because she'd be calling me. I can't find you.
In the end, we win. We'll be right back. Give us 2 minutes, and we will take this conversation back up on the other side. Thank you very much.
Plan is to try to get you down. face the fight, not moved by what I see. I walk by faith and not by sight. All power and authority is given unto me. 'Cause when you're on God's side, no spirit of fear. We'll never feel defeat because He's here. The race is not given to the swift, neither the battle to the strong, but He that endureth to the end. We win. Woo! Come on, come on. We win, say. We win. We win, yeah. We win. We win, yeah. Every area of our life. Yeah, we win. We win. Overcomers. Overcomers. In our schools, on our jobs. Nothing can stop us now. We win. In our marriage, in our finances. We
Welcome back to In the End We Win. My name is Curtis Austin, your host, and we're on the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. I've got my good friend Don Folden in the house of DC Black Tours, and I encourage you all to reach out. Give them the website.
DCBlackTours.com. It'll take you to my homepage, Capital Buddy Tours. I have the DC Underground Railroad Tour, the DC Chocolate City Day Tour, and the DC Black History Night Tour.
We need to support this brother, whether you are, into, Afrocentric, conversations or what. We just need to support our folks. So I encourage you all to reach out to them, set up a tour, take your friends. As a matter of fact, it would be a great idea for if you're having a family reunion here in the DC area. I'm sure he can accommodate, most, if not all, of your family members that are interested in going on the tour. Obviously, folk, family
and we can
members.
customize a tour for you as well, a Black History tour. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I encourage you guys to reach out to them. Now, if you want to join our conversation tonight, please dial us by calling in at 240-719-2560. You will be live, so do us a favor and turn your device down. However you are looking at or listening to the show, please turn it down and listen right into your earpiece on your phone, because you will be live on the show. Again, you can call in and join our conversation by dialing 240-719-2560. And so on the first half, we had a real, good conversation, good flow. We had our friend Roland Grimes call in, and he interjected some things. So just to kind of recap,
man, let's do something, brother.
You're not going to answer the phone on me.
No. I'm a giver, brother. Yeah, I'm a giver. See, so what I want to do right now, I tell you what. man, and for the appreciation, brother, of you actually having me on your show. The first person to call in right now.
Uh-oh. He's challenging you.
I will give them I give them 4 seats on the tour.
He's challenging you.
If they call in right now.
So,
okay,
240-719-2560.
If they call in right now, you can get 4 seats on whatever tour, either the DC Chocolate City Day Tour or the DC Black History Night Tour. I'll give you 4 seats right now.
And what's that valued at?
$59 a seat. Per seat.
Okay.
So you're talking about
$256 some odd dollars.
Yes, sir. All right.
That's not bad.
If they call in right now.
Right now, he done said it 3 times. Right now was then, and then.
Just call in and say, hey, brother, I see you on air. I heard this. You know, I'm watching you, and you got 4 seats right now.
Gotcha.
That's how confident. That's how confident I am of my product.
Right. Good. Appreciate that.
Okay. So, only while we on air. If you call in, you can claim the 4 seats.
Cool. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Great. So what's next for you? So you got the DC Black Tours. You talked about you're expanding it to Georgetown. What else do you have your visions set
Actually,
on?
brother, I wanna be the go-to website for any black tour in the country that you're looking for. That's why I set Capital Buddy Tours up, is to actually be the go-to place for any black tour in the country that you're looking for. I want to be able to do that. And not only that, I want to be able to connect Richmond with D.C. You know, go up on Eastern Shore. You know, to be able to, you know, even as far as Philadelphia. You know, to be able to connect these dots so you can you can see the black history that we don't get exposed to, that we don't talk about.
So let me ask you this. Have you run into any backlash, if you will, from any, let's say, white tour companies, from anybody who just said, why are you here? You shouldn't be doing this.
No, when I was in New York, this is another thing that the Spirit of God taught me, was whenever I'm on outside of a courthouse and my phone ring, I let it go to voicemail because I want to save whatever messages that have come. And when I was in New York, I actually had a guy call me and said, you got somebody standing outside the courthouse with a DC Black Tour sign, and that is not professional. You look stupid, and you're trying to get it seriously.
He called you?
Yeah, I got the voicemail, brother. I can let you hear the voicemail.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know, you get things like this. You know, so what I did was I said, you know what, I'm going to save this voicemail because I'll use that. And this was right around the time when the 2 guys got put out of Starbucks in Philly.
In Philadelphia.
You know, but see, folks, we're used to this stuff. It's common practice to us. It's just now new to white people that they're being exposed to. Man, we've been living this all our lives.
Yeah.
You know, you all are the ones that are just waking up to how we have been treated as a people. You know, you tell me to pull myself up by my bootstraps, but man, my bootstraps wore out.
Right. Wow.
You know, I didn't pull so much, but I don't have the, and see, this is another thing that I kind of had to, like even as far as my credit is concerned, man, I'm going to make an effort. I'm cleaning up my credit. You know, because I'm tired of getting beat over the head with these interest rates that are ridiculous.
That's right.
You know, I got a party bus right now I want to buy. I done found. Oh, I got a GoFundMe page too. DC GoFundMe / DCTourbus.com. You know, I actually, brother, I'm owing to something. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. you know, it's you know, people that are trying, that are doing right, that are being right, that are doing, can't get the time of day. You know, guys that have been to jail, that did this, that's looking for a second chance, can get chance on top of chance on top of chance on top of chance. But you can go find an honor roll student in DC public schools right now that ain't nobody paying them no attention. You tell them that's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But see, we got to start rewarding people that are doing to show the people that's not doing, man, this is the reward.
Some benefits. Mm-hmm.
You know, some benefits to this. Man, right you know, let me tell you something, brother. I haven't, and I say this sincerely, my kids are 35 and 34. The last time I saw my kids' mother, they were 2 and 3. Okay? For over 30 years, I haven't seen my children or talk. I don't even know if she's dead or alive. But I still got to be dad. You know, and I realize it's a lot of brothers out here just like me that, man, didn't have to go to court, that the court didn't have to tell them to take care of their family. Some of them ain't even their kids. But these brothers can't get the time of day. But that joker that's running around grabbing onto the front of his pants that's hanging down around his ankle, you know, that you got to drag him into the courthouse. You don't give him chance on top of chance on top of chance. But I ever get my hands on some money, man, I turn this city upside down. Do you hear me?
Wow.
I turn this city upside down, brother. Cause I know now.
Right.
See, I'm in it. You know, I can relate to it, and it ain't gonna discourage me. See, this is another thing. You say in the end we win, but man, you can't be discouraged waiting for the end.
That's right. That's good.
You know, because that's where the discouragement is gonna come in when you trying to see the end, man. When you want to see, because at some time, boy, it's gonna look like the harder you try, the worse it gets.
That's right. That's true. That's right.
You know, and you're going to have to buckle up your belt and say, you know what, man, come hell, high water, no water at all. I'm in this.
That's right.
And I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying here.
Absolutely.
And you got to be planted. If you believe, in the end, you'll win.
That's right. That's good.
And the only way you can do that, brother, is you got to persevere. Got to persevere, man.
Perseverance.
Perseverance is that you got to persevere, brother. If you can't persevere, you're going to get lost in the sauce.
How long have you been at this?
Well, I started in 2014. I started my transportation company. Matter of fact, you know, as an usher in church, one of the partners, man, he came up to me and he said, Phil Mathis. He said, man, you know, I had just got fired from Metro. And rather than me panicking, I said, man, I'm going to church and I'm going to serve. And this brother was like, man, I like the way you serve. I want to see you go into business. I got this car. Go take a look at it. And he told me where it was. And I said, man, that's a limousine. He said, that's all I got. And it was a funeral car with the 6 doors on it. Right? The last year of the big bodies. 21,000 miles, garage kept.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he said, you know what, man? He said, I tell you what I'm going to do. He said, man, $5,000, the car is yours.
Wow.
You know, I told you, I just got fired from Metro. And I was doing some T-shirt. I said, man, here's $500 good faith deposit. Came home, and there was a letter from the credit union. And I started throwing in trash. Because I knew they was going to be telling me, you know, you owe some money. Yeah, how you... And it was a check in there, brother, for over $3,700 for a class action lawsuit that I knew nothing about, but I was included in it.
Wow.
And they say, if you sign this check, that's it.
It's yours.
You know what I'm saying? Man, that's $3,700, but I went and signed that joint so quick, bought me some tags and some insurance for my car, and I ain't looked back, brother. Now, in between that, you know, I done had some adversity, but that's how I got started, brother.
Wow.
That's exactly how I got started, brother,
Awesome.
from serving in church. This brother came up to said, man, he said, man, I've been watching you. I like your commitment.
Right.
You know, and he said, go take a look at this car.
And that's the thing, man. You never know who's watching.
You never know who's watching you, brother. Mm-hmm. You never know. But you know, my grandmother has this had this saying. She used to always tell me, baby, when you know they looking at you, you give them something to see. Mm. She used to drill that. Baby, when you know they looking at you, she cussed. Okay? Mm. My grandmother cussed. Get them F something to see.
I love grandma.
Okay, that's my grandma. She dipped snuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was a snuff dipper. You know, and I told you about my grandson, man. My grandson, man. You know that he's graduating from Duke Ellington, and
awesome.
You know, and he's a fantastic child. And when you get ready, I said, hey, son, when you know they looking at you, give them something to see.
Yeah.
Give them something to see. And see, and oftentimes, brother, we get so caught up into what somebody else is or is not doing that we don't try to perfect our own. See,
That's
I could go out here and jump on a monument tour, dime a dozen, and probably get paid.
Right.
But yet, this Black history, I just, you know, to show you, man. When I told you I got a historical Black church tour that I'm putting together, and I went by John Wesley AME Zion on 14th Street,
right.
14th and Cochran.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then, unbeknownst to me, Medgar Evers' funeral was at that church.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right. Eleanor Roosevelt spoke at that church. Marcus Garvey spoke at over 2,000 people. Beautiful sanctuary, brother.
Oh, yeah?
Beautiful sanctuary.
Wow.
You know, but these are the kind of things that you know, if
we're
rather than
right on top of and don't even know
it, brother. Don't even know it.
So is there some other form, obviously there is, but is there some other form of marketing and advertising that you can do to get DC Black Tours out there into the mainstream where people can see it and you help your cause by?
Well, I'm sure, and that takes money. But rather than, I'm not complaining about not having money. You know, because like I said, man, you that DCBlackTours.com, that website. See, when I started the my guerrilla warfare marketing, I was using KalishUSA.com, which they have toolmobiles.
Okay.
And I actually had one of their signs made up, and the president of the company called me and said, man, he said, you know, I got people calling me from all over the world telling me that you standing outside the courthouse with my website. And I told him what I was doing, you know, and told him why I was doing it. You know, and then the guy, what happened was, you know, they kept repeating, you know, showing repeat signs, you know, you still see, and he think I'm still doing it.
Right.
And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, rather than me promoting their website, why don't I go get my own website?
Yeah. All right.
And start promoting it. And so I went out and had me a DCBlackTours.com sign made.
Good for you.
And I promote my own stuff. Brother, you might come down in the morning, middle of New York Avenue, brother. I might be sitting out there in my chair with my sign up on a stick with my website on it.
Right.
So you can see it.
Right. Anywhere there are cameras, they will find you.
They will find me, brother. Especially when it's from all over the world. Something huge. I'll be out there, brother.
So there was that 10,000 man march this past weekend.
Right.
Were you in attendance?
No, I didn't. I was, you know, I was caught up with this guy with my car, man.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get a chance to participate.
Yeah, nor did I. Actually, Saturday was my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, Wanda. Love you, girl.
Yeah. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yes.
Yeah. So we hung out, made sure she was happy, made sure she was good. So I didn't get a chance to go. I hadn't spoken to anyone who had gone just to find out how it was, because obviously they're not talking about that on the news.
Right. And but again, brother, you know, and it's just a matter of being able to you know, are you gonna be the one to wear down, or are you gonna wear them down? And I will always go back to the story in the Bible about the woman with the judge, and the woman kept, and that story's in there for a reason. Well, she kept coming back to this judge, and this judge said, "I don't even believe in your God, but I'm gonna give you what you want just so you can leave me alone." You know, and a lot of times, see, we be thinking, "Oh man, I don't want to get on nobody's nerve." Man, that's how I got my job in Metro. When I finally talked to somebody and the lady told me who her name was, man, 2-3 times a week, I was calling, "Hey, Miss," she said, "Mr. Folden." No. I mean, she knew me by name, by my voice. And finally one day she said, "Boy, look, come on, take this test so you can leave me alone."
Persistence.
Okay.
Beats resistance.
Yes, it does.
100% of the time.
But you see, brother, with that persistence requires you to be accustomed to repetition. And see, that's what a lot of people don't realize. All persistence is repetition. You got to do it over and over and over again. But see, what most folk don't do is, in the process of doing it over again, they don't try to be creative with their present. They just present the same thing so that it becomes a part of them, and there's no meaning to it. There's no, you know, you don't feel it, brother. It's just automatic. It's like robotic. But you have to be repetition, man. Repetition cannot bother you. All right? You got to constantly keep going back at this thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Something is going to give.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Wow, time flies, don't it? Man, I appreciate it, man. I thank you for having me, brother.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you. So we have come to the unfortunate end of the show for tonight. I hope you guys heard something that sparked you or moved you to want to reach out. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten that phone call as yet. We're not off the air yet, so it's still available. He's still offering the four seats on the tour. All you have to do is call in so you can claim that 240-719-2560. But I appreciate you.
But you know, and just to give you an example, brother, see, something like that cannot be discouraging.
Right. Yeah. For either one of us, because now I'm like, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Where my people at?
Yeah. You know, see, something like this can't be discouraging.
Right. Right.
Okay, I put the idea out there. I put it out there.
And it looks like it was spur of the moment because you and I hadn't talked about that. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't be discouraged by that.
Right. Right.
You know, you can't take it personal.
Definitely. That's right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So, you know, the opportunity was available.
There it is. That's their loss.
And you didn't take advantage of it? I mean, free. I'm talking about I'm giving you free tickets.
Right. Right. Exactly. Cool. So, thank you to my friend Don Folden.
Man, thank you for having me.
We're going to have to wrap it up for tonight. We will see you guys right back here on next Monday, 8:15 sharp, 8:15 p.m. And love you all. And in the end, you win. But there is something that you must do. There is an action that you must take, as we talked about tonight. Persistence beats resistance. So if you're encountering challenges, don't get swayed. Don't get knocked off course. Just continue to strive. Just continue to push. Continue to strive, and in the end, you will win too. So I am.
And
Curtis
quit taking
Austin,
it personal.
And don't take it personal.
And don't take it personal.
My man Don says, do not take it personal, because life happens to everybody.
It does.
You know, that just happens to be your portion. So don't take it personal. I am Curtis Austin, and you have tuned in to In the End We Win with Curtis. Good night.